everyone. Welcome back to the session with me, Preeti Ayyappan, and Anil Grover. So, Anil Grover is a certified functional medicine practitioner from School for Applied Functional Medicine and Institute of Integrative Nutrition. And I am Preeti Ayyappan. I'm a nutrition and lifestyle coach from Institute of Integrative. So, we are here to share some valuable healthcare lessons and guidance for those who are really keen to learn more about functional medicine and nutrition. So, in this program, we will look at role of nutrition and functional medicine approach. And we had last two sessions, the talk sessions were focused on nutrition. And I hope all of you watched and really enjoyed the information that was shared. Today, we are going to be talking about the most hot topic, that's calories. And everyone wants to know what are calories, calorie counting, good, bad. So, like there are many questions around calories. And so we will jump in and Anil will talk to us in detail about what are calories, where do we get them from, and what is good and what is not good. Welcome, Anil.
Good, Preeti. Thank you very much, and welcome to everyone watching. Yes, so let us jump into calories. You get to hear it everywhere. You get to see it on the net, and there are so many apps available, and how many calories we need, which calories we need, nutrient dense, or not good calories, bad calories. So that's the day today to clear up all these things. So let us show you some very valuable information. It's all about calories. That's the day today. Good. So calories, what are they? Calories are a calculation of the energy which food provides us, and energy is needed for our body to perform all functions. Anything. Breathing, thinking, talking, digesting food, anything needs calories. So we need approximately about 2,000 calories, depending on the person, his age, his health status, approx 2,000. Calories are not same. We cannot only look at calories. We need energy. Calories come from food, energy, but the calorie can be coming from an unhealthy food source, a refined food source. So I have got my calories, but I have put in unhealthy substances which is going to cause me harm. At the same time, the calories could be coming from very healthy foods, let's say a fruit, which is going to benefit me. So it's calories and the quality of the food which is providing me calories. This is very, very important. That's why the term is there, nutrient dense calories. We don't want calories without nutrients. Nutrients meaning vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, polyphenols, which are very important for our health. At the same time, it's very important to understand that some foods provide us the same amount of calorie, but when they are processed in the body, the processing, the making of the calorie also uses up calories. Carbohydrates, if it's refined, we get 4 calories. If it's complex, we will get 4. But complex carbohydrates, starches, they will use up more time, more energy to generate that calorie energy needed for our body to function. Proteins, they use up a lot of energy to provide the calorie. So these are points once we understand. By the end of the topic today, we'll have more knowledge and more understanding of how to go about them. So carbohydrate, 1 gram gives us 4 calories. Protein, 1 gram, 4 calories. But in reality, it will be less than 4 because protein to produce calorie also uses up calories. Fats, 1 gram of fat molecule will give us double 9 calories. So we have to be very careful of that. 1 gram of fat will double the calories. So calories, we need around 2,000 to, just for the day-to-day, how we are living, not very athletic, just day-to-day needs about 2,000 calories. So if I take in more calories, then what I've used, I will put them on in my body as fat. They
So
have to
basically,
get
when there are more calorie intake, so it leads to weight gain.
correct. Yes.
Right.
So simple. So more calories coming in from unhealthy foods, weight gain plus damaging my health. That's
Right.
also important. So we can see from many scenarios, from many. So we'll go through this slide and then we will discuss it. Yes. So calories in from, let's say from there we saw per carbohydrate, gram, protein. Here we can see it from the food products. So now broccoli, everyone knows is very healthy, but it has only 39 calories. So that's something great, because I'm afraid I don't take in too many calories than what I need, so I'll end up with weight gain. So here is something: broccoli, cauliflower, potato even. They have 100 grams of broccoli, 100 grams of cauliflower, only 39 calories, only 25. So I would never ever have to calculate or fear that how much cauliflower I'm having. And these things are providing us with great polyphenols, phytonutrients, vitamins, minerals, and they're very good for detox. So they're wonderful things. And here we come to sugar. Same amount, 100 grams of sugar, 400 calories. And wheat. Is this true? Wheat, 100 grams has more calories than sugar also? Yes, wheat, flour, refined, 500 calories. And in a day, remember, we need 2000, and this is only 100 grams. So if we are catching on, these things provide us a lot of information. We don't have to get into the details, but a general idea of what I should be consuming or not consuming. More products. Peanuts. Any nut, peanut, because it's so easily available. 100 grams, 570 calories. It's a lot. Don't forget, in a day, we need only 2000 calories approx. Some people in a day could be needing 1500 or 1600 who are not very active. Nowadays, the past year, many have not been active, can't go out, can't move out much, can't meet people much, can't travel. So keeping that in mind, it could be very easy to accumulate calories, means weight gain. Oil. So everything is based on 100 grams, but here oil especially, we couldn't put the figures for 100 grams because it would not fit into this screen. It's only 40 grams. And 40 grams of oil is only 4.5 tablespoons. 4.5 tablespoons, which is equal to 40 grams, is 600 calories. Peanuts, spinach, 100 grams, only 28 calories, and spinach is very healthy. So I hope you all are catching on, picturizing something and understanding the raisins. So small raisins, which enjoy 300 calories. It's a lot, and it's concentrated sugar. Kidney beans, very healthy, full of fiber, and the carbohydrates in them are starch, complex. They don't give an insulin spike. Only 127 calories, so we can eat a lot of them. Cucumber, whenever we are hungry, why not have a cucumber? It's almost no calories, 14. And nutrients, yes, they are very healthy. Paneer, it's a lot of calories, 321. It can jump up 100 calories. So gram-wise, 100 gram-wise, the difference is calories, energy provided by different foods. Now, it's also interesting to know, broccoli we just saw gave us some about 32 or 34 calories, but how are they provided macronutrient-wise? So on the top here we see carbs is in red, protein is yellow, fat is green. So broccoli, we have 3 calories from fat, 10 calories from protein. So broccoli having protein also, that's informative. And we have carbs, 600. And calories coming in, 11 coming in from protein. That's interesting. Everyone wants protein. So 11 coming in from protein, 5 coming in from fat, and 4 from carbs. Although they are known as carbohydrates, but plants and vegetables have a lot of fiber. So fiber is 0 calories. chicken meat products, just showing an example, can jump in calories very easily, and there is no fiber, no starch, no carbohydrates. So if we are having only meat-based foods, we can miss out on the important fiber. Kidney beans, again, we see the division is coming. We have 65 from carb, 35, that's a lot, almost equal to chicken. From protein is equal to chicken in beans. Now, Preeti, you have anything to say before we jump into this very interesting slide?
It is not shocking for me because these are all junk food. Ice cream, potato chips, cookie, donut. I mean, these are foods like which all of us get tempted and all of us really crave for on some special days for me. But generally, if you look at the amount of calories here, ice cream, just 2 scoops is 570 calories. Potato chips is 500, and we all get tempted to dig into a packet of potato chips. So it's good information, Anil. Like because as you go down, the strawberries has only 23 calories. So I mean, even if you eat 6 pieces, so that's amazing, and it throws a lot of light to as to like what you should really be picking in and what you should be really eating. And I also feel that whatever comes from the factory comes with a lot of calories, and whatever is available from nature has very less calories.
Yes, that's what we have been seeing, observing that foods from nature have less calories because they have lots of water, and the calories coming in from coming together with lots of nutrients, fiber.
Yeah.
And your favorite foods, I don't know now, or maybe before you have left them.
Not now.
Not now.
No, sometimes, occasionally.
Potato chips, it's just 100 grams, it's just one packet, 500 calories. Now,
Wow.
just to compare a vegetarian dish with some rice, chapati, lentils, salads, lots of salads and all, would also be around 500 calories, 500, 600 calories, depending. And here, just a packet of 500 calories gone in ice cream. So, and are they healthy? Are these things healthy? I think everyone knows. Everyone doesn't want to have them, yet we have them, that they are not healthy. And after we have had a packet of chips
Snacks.
or ice cream, okay, now I have to burn them.
Yes.
570, and I doubt you'll have 2 scoops. The day you go and have 2 scoops, ice cream is very difficult because nutrition is also connected to our mind, our wants. It's totally a different topic, but interesting topic. So it has a different connection also. So 2 scoops, 4 scoops would be maybe 1,000 calories. So now it's time to go and burn them out. So let's see how it can be burned. What do you see here, Preeti?
Here I see that a walk inside, this is like home tasks. So like you burn 100 calories and walk and brisk walk. Okay, so when you walk briskly, then you burn like 200 calories. And the best thing is jogging. I didn't know that, like jogging is above cycling and swimming. I always used to think that swimming and cycling are like you burn more calories, but here it's like jogging is the most efficient way to burn your calories. So it doesn't mean that you can eat a lot of snacks and go jog and then you feel that, oh, I've burnt everything. I mean, you need nutrition in your diet. That's what we are trying to convey here.
And maybe you missed out. Maybe you thought this jogging was only for 5 minutes. This is 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
So even 30 minutes, yes, we burn only that much. So wanting to lose weight and thinking of exercising for burning calories is not the correct option. Exercise we are doing for physical movement, for breathing. If you go out jogging, the fresh air, connecting with nature, and positive hormones release, endorphins release, feel good feeling. So that's more than just burning calories, because having a packet of chips and then for 1 hour
Going
jogging
for a run.
not correlated. So exercise has its own positivity, but not to really to look at in the calorie burning part. And the last slide before we get into question and answers is when we go and buy a packet, how do we understand how many calories that product what we bought is? So these rules keep coming up. So before, the left side was the old label. One could not even see the calories where it was written. So now the new label, the calorie has to be written if the laws are followed in a big bold type. So let's say you go and buy something and it says 230 calories. So you have to check the 230 calories, is it for that whole product you have bought the packet, or is it something more to it? So if you read closely in this packet, it says that this packet actually is for a cup, so soup maybe, it has 8 servings. So 8 times you can have it, so 8 people can have it, 8 servings, and each serving is 230 calories, not the whole packet or the bottle. Others you might you might have all the 8 servings, Preeti, thinking is 230 calories. But if you have 230 calories, you have to multiply by 8. Don't forget that. So there's 1,840 calories in that product, which would be enough for your whole day.
Yes.
And then when you go down, you see there are lots of other figures. That's something else. We can do a topic different day to understand how nutrition fact what it means. But today is just about calories. So we wanted to show this important information, give a perspective to the people about calories from nutrient-wise, product-wise, good calories, bad calories. So now, if you have any questions where we could go into that, or people can relate to it easily, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, so as we saw in all the slides that, like it threw a lot of emphasis on the food that we really consume every single day. Be it macronutrients are included in our diet every day, in every single meal. And the other products, like the very favorite ones that we saw, like chocolates and ice creams, and I think like everyone binges on these. But I was also thinking that on some days we have a regular diet, the macronutrients, along with desserts and ice creams and chocolates and all that. So are we exceeding our daily calorie intake? Because it's only 2,000 calories per day is all that we need. And how we say this is like like the plate, like we discussed in the last talk session, that every country has guidelines of how much fats and how much protein and how much carbohydrates a person should intake for a healthy lifestyle. So if we consider all of that, I really feel, Anil, like if we continue eating our daily diet as well as the temptations, we'll be exceeding our calorie limit for the day. So is it good to count calories? Should we start counting like every single plate and every single meal, that what are we consuming and how much are we consuming? Is it good to count calories or not good to count calories?
Preeti, you said about should we count calories. I feel yes, it's important we don't exceed our calories which we use every day. But more important, what people miss out on is the quality of the calories. That's more important.
Right.
Because if my quality of my calories are okay, even if I've exceeded slightly, the good nutrients have gone in, maybe they'll balance it out or metabolism will be more strong. But if I am counting calories but not aware of the quality of the calories, I'm putting in harmful nutrients, I'm definitely going to get sick and gain weight. You see, there are so many calories always connected to weight. So on the net, you come across hundreds of attractive offers, weight loss. Maybe I would not be interested to have a weight loss program, because I would be interested to have a good health program. When your health is okay, your weight has to be okay. You don't have to go for weight loss. The same way, if you're eating correct calories. So now if we're eating foods provided to us by nature, because we don't get to see any labels on foods, when we go to buy from the morning vegetable market, the apple does not have a label. A cucumber doesn't come with a nutrition facts label. It's somehow balanced, okay. So as we saw, the vegetables were having so low calories. So later on, we will one day do a talk with actual recipes, whole days recipes. So yes, you can count, but I would not want to count. I would not count. I do not count because I know from the counting and the education done that if I'm having on my plate lots of salads, sprouts, vegetables, mushrooms, in whichever way, it is impossible to exceed my daily requirement of calories. There will definitely be a gap.
Yeah.
So from what we just saw, if I come to know I've had more calories, or if I've had bad calories, I can come to know from my health. I'll be fatigued, tired, I'll have all those problems. If I've eaten good calories, but also extra calories, my mirror will tell me, right? So then I just cut down on the good calories, which are coming from nuts and seeds, which are high in calories. And if I feel I'm going low in calories, people start telling me that, or I start seeing that my trousers are becoming loose, I just increase my good calories in the form of nuts and seeds.
Okay, so now I have a question. Now we saw that spinach has the least of calories, and on the other hand, like strawberry has the least of calories compared to the other food. So in that case, like, do we eat more of spinach and more of fruits and like that kind of foods, and reduce foods that are high in calories? So which means that every single plate of ours we put together. Now that we have an idea of what is high in calories and what is low in calories. For example, kidney beans. I did not expect kidney beans to have such high calories. So would you suggest that, just a suggestion, would you suggest that, like we make a salad and put little bit of kidney beans, though we know that there are pulses, and then add more of green leaf vegetables and more of these mushrooms, and because any kind of plant food that we intake, they come with lower calories. So like you said, if you consume more of plants, you don't have to count your calories and you don't have to watch what your plate is. Correct?
Yeah, so you can balance it out like that. You don't have to balance it out meal-wise. It's
Okay.
day-wise or week-wise.
Right.
It's not that morning what we have eaten, body's going to everything's going to change. It is more week, daily, day-wise. Yes, we can have kidney beans, chickpeas more in the morning, because proteins, they don't give the spike which, let's say, a carbohydrate would give. So they take longer to be in the body digestion. So we don't get that craving. We don't get that. We don't feel hungry often. So we can go in for longer time. And kidney beans compared to spinach would be having more calories. Or we can put it another way. The spinach and cauliflower we saw were having very low calories, but kidney beans would come in 100 grams, around 130 calories is not considered high. High calories is, animal foods can jump in calories very easy because there is no carbohydrates in it in animal foods. It is only protein and fats
right.
will be there together. So in plants, plant-based foods, nuts and seeds are calorie dense because they have also oils, and they are seeds, very less water. It's the water which reduces the calories. The water part becomes more in cucumber, so the carbohydrate is less. That's why the calories come down, and it's made in such a way it's filling for that time. And we have 2 cucumbers, we'll feel full, but we'll feel hungry sooner. So it's like salads with protein dense foods will keep us the satiety longer. It's also connected to hormones, and that way you can balance it out morning, and need not be plate wise. We need not go so deep into all these things. Just be natural. So, and regarding calorie counting, if someone really likes it, it's okay. But with experience, one notices if this basic ground fundamental thing is understood and your body will respond and tell you, you'll feel okay. No, but one who wants it is okay, but one can get trapped into it. Badly supposing you get trapped into it, and you are having a checklist and ticking off in your kitchen and preparing dishes, and outside your children and parents and your husband are waiting and screaming away for the food, and you're saying, "I'm busy counting calories." You might end up in problem. But
So
the
these
knowledge
are
is necessary.
Yeah. So these are basically from Weight Watchers, like, people who want to lose weight and people who they are very conscious about what they eat and, like how much of calorie intake. They only talk about calories most of the time. So for one of them had a very interesting question that, okay, so 2000 calories is what is allowed for me to lead a healthy lifestyle per day. So if I consume 1500, will I lose weight is the question. So is it a logical
Yes.
question?
Again, I come back to the old thing. 1,500 calories were consumed of what food product?
Right.
If it was consumed of the wrong food product, the person will get sick.
Yes.
If it was produced if it was taken in from very healthy food products, there's going to be a deficit of 500 calories. So yes, gradually she will lose weight, and first the excess fat will get used up. Body will use up, pull from the reserves to use it for the required calorie requirement for the day. Yes, so that is called calorie restriction.
Right. Okay.
So calorie
coming
restriction,
back
you can
to-
check. So these apps are offered wonderful.
Yeah.
So our talks, what we are trying to do is help to educate the person. So there the person has to just follow and tick, but we are educating. But if the person goes into a balanced, healthy diet, which has low calories but lots of nutrients with a whole foods plant-based, the person can gradually normally achieve 1,400, 1,500, there's no problem. And the person can have only 2 meals in a day. That's simple.
Cook in the kitchen. Like you were saying, like it's going to take you a lot of time when you start counting calories as people are waiting to have their meals. Now, for the people who cook, for them, what would be your advice? Like, how do they choose the macronutrients and, which macronutrients to choose every single day? Or we just keep it like we need to consume carbohydrates, protein, fat every single day with fiber. So is that how it is? Because these are questions like everybody has in their mind because we know macronutrients are good, we know plants are good, we know that consuming certain amount of fruits is really good for our bodies. So when we actually cook, like we are very worried, or not worried, we really take good care of, we want to take care of ourselves and the people who eat our food that we cook. So then how do we decide?
The person who cooks also eats, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To take care of oneself and to feed others.
Yes. So it's the same thing applies. It's not that supposing you start your meals, when you start your meal, have salads, sprouts, a whole bowl full of salads, sprouts in any form. If you don't put nuts and seeds inside or oil inside, it will not be more than 100 calories. You just saw cauliflower, you just saw spinach, you just saw all these things. So a bowl will be also not more than 100, and they are, again, I'm keeping on repeating, they are full of very powerful phytonutrients, minerals, vitamins, polyphenols. I keep repeating it, they're very important, they are all available there. So the person has already eaten something. There's many things connected to weight loss, because when we are eating slowly and the food is gradually being digested, a hormone is secreted and the brain picks it up from the stomach and from the gut. That food has started coming in, is being digested. So different hormones start coming in, that I am feeling full. Feeling full is a hormone, not the amount of food coming in, because sometimes when we eat very fast, the hormone has not been activated yet. We overeat, it's not been activated. Then we say, oh no, I've eaten too much. Because when you're eating slow, you might have eaten less, but that hormone will get activated and tell you it's the satiety hormone that I don't want to eat more. So salads you are starting, sprouts you are starting, and then any whole plant-based foods can be offered. So by that time, it's the same thing. So you're getting all nutrients inside, and calories, you will not exceed them. If you are aware of this whole system game and you feel that you want to provide your kids, they are growing up, they need more proteins, and they've been doing lots of your child, your son is very athletic, he's burning more calories, is growing up, then you have to provide him with more nuts and seeds. There's lots of calories there so that he won't be calorie deficient. You don't want him to lose weight. And they're again full of all the essential vitamins, minerals, everything is in that. Proteins, carbs, everything, fats, everything is there. So he's getting a whole food.
Yeah.
And have your chart. But without getting into the charts, from my experience, I'm saying I've done all these things, that it will not exceed.
Okay. Now, cooking meals,
Yes.
like we, like for example, like in an Indian kitchen, we always have pulses, we have lentils, and like we have a variety when it comes to cooking. It's not just vegetables. Like it's always good to cook vegetables and also eat salads. But besides that, we have other things that are cooked every single day. You have little rice, you have little dal, you have some kind of pulses, and kidney beans and garbanzo beans and all of that. So, and then you also have your paneer, which is a regular thing in any household. So when it comes to that, like how do we plan every single meal is my question. I was like asking about meal planning when it comes to these people who focus more on the cooking side.
So then one of the sessions, we can show the actual recipes with the amount of calories coming in from carb, protein and this thing. So we see it's balanced in the whole day. But generally, people have been eating from long time since we are living. Yes. So it's already balanced. Every country automatically foods which have been coming down the line, generations, like India you said. So we have grains in the form of rice or wheat. So wheat we saw is very high in calorie carbs. So when you want to help people, then they can cut down. They instead of having 3 chapatis, maybe they can have only 1 because of the lifestyle, So now they can have only 1, and they can have instead of 1 portion, 2 portion of salads, and then lentils are there. They are high in protein, so it's already balanced. And as you said, legumes, chickpeas, they're all very high in fiber and protein and carb. Everything is there. So it's already becoming a balanced diet, despite putting it into those charts, which we will prepare and show it. So it'll work out to that roughly.
Yeah.
It works out to that. And who want to track it down, they can track it down. But are you going okay or not? You come to know from the mirror and how you feel. You don't even need a weighing scale, but yes, of course you can weigh. Why not?
Yes,
but
it depends on your energy levels and like if you're gaining weight, not gaining weight.
Yeah. And the BMI will be just in the average middle level, and you see it's just there, it's not fluctuating.
Yes, absolutely.
And you come to know, you feel if you've eaten last 4-5 days, you have not eaten well, you come to know.
Yes. Yeah. So those calorie counting enthusiasts, so it's not really necessary that we calculate every single calorie per food and what we eat and feel bad that, oh, today I did not count my calories, and it becomes sometimes it becomes like too much to go overboard on calorie counting and all that. Like Anil explained, like since we now know clearly that what foods give us what kind of nutrients and which is good for us and which is too much of something is not good for us. So we know the category, and it's much more wiser now to choose the kind of food that we eat and to avoid the rest or keep minimum and keep it in moderation. So that doesn't affect our overall health.
One does not need to go into details of calorie counting. Anyone wants to, can definitely do it. But if you had morning 3 cookies, then it's better to go into the cheap old ones which have been there for many years. I would say they're better because thin what we have been eating, but they have been somehow promoted, they're unhealthy, and the healthy ones have come in. So we have to be very careful. The organic healthy is written big there, but they are 100 calories each cookie. Early morning you have one, then you think today I'll have another one, and the news was very interesting. You didn't realize you had the third one. Maybe you have had 200-300 calories with your tea, and if you have put in 2 spoons of sugar or something, maybe you are not realizing before even thinking of breakfast, you've already had 300-400 calories, right? And then breakfast, you have 500-600 calories. So, and then again, you want to have a snack. So you have already completed. And then your friend comes along your friends come along, you have gone out and that day and some milkshake, some ice cream. So yes, in a day, so this, just the awareness is also enough. In a day, very easily, you can end up with 3,000 calories.
I have a question. I have a very interesting question. So there is a group of people like who avoid eating because they feel that there'll be a weight gain. So they consume more caffeine, coffee and black coffee and tea and any kind of caffeine to just keep them alert and energetic throughout the day, and consumes less food because they don't want to gain weight. And this is very common in offices and corporates and like where people have very busy lifestyle. So do you have any advice for this group of people?
Yeah, I think maybe it's not really connected to weight. It's connected to being alert and all that. Yes, because we have something in us to keep us alert, which is called cortisol. It is a hormone to keep us, which we start a day with that cortisol. So we have it normally. If someone wants to check the cortisol level, the proper way to check is 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is the highest, then it comes down noon, and then it's a little bit slows down. That's why we start getting tired. Then we have a meal and we are very tired. It goes down. Then around 4, it dips. It should go a bit up, then it dips down again. It goes like that. So if we are following that rhythm, if we are eating proper foods with proper nutrients, our cortisol production will be optimal, and we will follow that routine. After meals, we will feel a bit, we need that 10-15 minutes of break, and then we get back into action. But otherwise, we are self-medicating with caffeine to produce the same effect of cortisol. So it's okay, 1 or 2 cups are okay. But if we are totally dependent on that, so we are like not letting a body make the cortisol, but we are doing it like a trick. We are tricking ourselves, not realizing that underneath things are not okay. Again, is a bean, coffee beans, and they are very high. They are also good for health. For some people, coffee is very healthy, very good. So organic, good quality coffee. So coffee again is misunderstood in many countries. Coffee means having black coffee or just putting a bit of milk, but coffee normally I saw here means a full glass of milk with the powdered coffee. So that would not be counted as coffee also.
Yeah, true.
For many people, coffee suits them, 1 or 2 cups, that's okay. But some who keep themselves going on with coffee are trying to replace the natural adrenal gland cortisol production with coffee, because maybe some nutrients are being missed out.
The end of this session, it was very, very interesting and thought-provoking, Anil, about calories and how important is calorie counting. Is it good to calorie count, not good to calorie count? And if we eat certain foods and we eat more of plants and increase our phytonutrients, there is no need for calorie counting. So now we have another topic that is again a lot of questions around it, and we usually wonder about proteins, like a high protein diet. Is that going to be beneficial for me? Should I be eating more proteins to keep myself healthy? And because there's a lot of you see all the time on the internet, or like on social media, talking about high protein, eat a lot of protein to be healthy and all of that. So is that a myth, or it's really something that we should be focusing on? Will be the next topic. That will be the next talk session. And anything pertaining to this talk session on calories, like if you have any questions, or if there is anything that you would like to like us to point out and talk more, do mention in the comments below. And for now, we conclude this session, talk 3, and we hope that you have a good day.
Thank you, Preeti, and thank you everyone for watching. Thank you.
Thank you, Anil, for joining us today.